Welcome to Yoga with Val. We're going to take a look at tree posture, which is a balance. But we're going to begin our practice down on the mat, forming the tree posture, using the floor to support our body fully before we come to practice at standing. You might want to have a belt to hand. If you're using a belt, pop it over to one side so that you don't come into contact with it whilst we become here and now laying on the mat. And I'm going to use the wall when we're standing as well, so consider having a clear area of wall. Let's take a moment to come down onto the mat. This is going to work into your hips, so it's really good for opening those hips. If we've been sitting for a long time, hip opening is good for us. So release your spine down onto the mat. Work from the position that's right for you. So you might find you want to keep those knees bent, feet flat to the floor, semi-supine. Or you might be happy to extend those legs away in Shavasana. If you're happy to, your eyes are closed, you're breathing in and out through your nose. Adjusting and settling your body as you recognise it. So soft through your lower back, hips nice and settled. Relaxing and releasing through your shoulders. Lengthening through your spine. Weight of the head releasing. Relax through the jaw. Letting go through your arms. Letting go through your legs. A few nice, steady, deep breaths. Breathing in, creating that space and opening. Breathing out to relax, release and let go. Bringing your focus into the body by following your breath, allowing any tensions to relax and release, to let go. All of those muscles softening. Looking for a sense of balance. When you're ready, you can take a long, lengthening stretch through. Think about wriggling and reaching those arms away, maybe doing the same through the heels. Enjoy your stretch. And if you're happy to, we'll come into a closing down hug from their knees onto the tummy, hands coming to knees. Might be a gentle curl in. Might be a little rock across those hips. We're going to come to a position where the knees are bent, feet flat to the floor, so that we can work into stretching into our hips. We're going to start by bringing the right foot up onto the left thigh. We want that out to edge, that little toe side of the foot, to relax onto the thigh. The right knee is going to move away from your body. Try not to overmove and to either skew through your back or arch. We want a sense of dropping those hips into the mat and then encouraging the knee away from us. We might have a little pressure through the hand onto the leg, but it's just gentle. Please don't force your hip. So we're encouraging the knee to drop open. Stretch is felt in the inner thigh. When we're ready, we can bring the right foot down to the mat. We can bring the left foot up onto the right thigh. Outer edge of foot onto the thigh. Knee dropping away from the body, hips leveling up. Maybe using that hand to gently encourage that hip to open. Notice his hand's on the thigh, not on the knee, and it's just gently encouraging the hip to open. As we feel balance, that foot can come down to the mat. I'm going to add a stretch in here that will suit some of you, but not everyone. So we come to the same position. Edge of foot, right foot onto left thigh. And then we're going to bring that left knee in towards us and hug underneath that left thigh. You might want to use your belt, if you can't reach, to draw that thigh in. Now we want to keep that right knee moving away. We don't want to simply allow everything to scrunch in. You might also want to extend the left leg to the ceiling as we encourage right knee to drop away, left thigh in. When you're ready to release, we're going to release the left leg, foot coming down to the mat. Right foot comes down. And we repeat this to the left side. So left foot comes up onto right thigh. Bring your right foot off the floor and see if you can hug under your right thigh. Draw the right leg in towards you as you encourage the left leg away. And if you want, take the right leg to the ceiling. So we should be getting a stretch into the left thigh, left hip opening. Then we can bend, return the right foot to the floor, releasing the left foot down. We're going to go into lane cobbler from here, taking the soles of the feet together. Decide how close you want those heels to your body. Drop the knees apart as the soles of the feet come in together. Often this will give us an idea of whether we're balanced through the lefts and rights. You might find one side is noticeably higher than the other. What we're trying to do again is keep those hips nice and square. Keep the back of the body relaxed onto the mat. And we might at this stage take those arms overhead, palms together or apart. But we're encouraged those shoulders to drop down, chest to be open. So here we've got a stretch into the hips, stretch into the shoulders. When you're ready, you can bring your arms back. Bring the knees in together as the soles of the feet come to the mat. And you might find you want a little hug in, either over or under those thighs. So we're going to move to practicing our tree posture whilst laying on our mat. You might want to take your belt and place it around the right ankle. We're going to extend the left leg as if we were standing on that left leg. So the sole of the foot is flat, toes are up to the ceiling, and that left leg is nice and straight. We're going to bring the right foot, sole of the right foot, onto the left leg. And we're going to bring that heel as close as we can into the groin, whilst allowing that right knee to drop open. Whilst you're using the belt, it's just a gentle ease. Please don't be fighting against your body. Just try and encourage the stretch. You should be able to release the belt and the leg should pretty much stay where it is. Okay, if it slides away and you need to bring your hands back onto the belt, then that's where you are today. So we're stretching that left leg away, toes to the ceiling. Sole of the right foot is gently into the left leg. Right knee's dropping over. Try and keep those hips nice and flat. And then arms come over. Now this depends where you need to feel the opening through the chest and the stretch in the shoulders. Those hands might be wide or elbows really, really bent. You might be stretching the arms away directly up in alignment with the shoulders, or you might even bring those palms together. Visualize this as your standing tree posture. So we've taken the need to be bouncing on that leg away, and we've brought ourselves into that wonderful posture. When you're ready, release the arms. Stretch that right leg away. I'm going to release the belt because we might need that for the left leg. So the right leg becomes the balancing leg, so to speak. Sole of the foot flat, toes to ceiling, leg nice and strong and lengthened. We bring the sole of the left foot onto the right leg. And we might be using that belt around the ankle. Okay. You might even have it round the foot, whatever works for you. So we're trying to draw that left foot up into the groin. Encourage that knee to drop open. So I know this side isn't as good for me. trying to flatten the hips. We'll see if I lifted this right hip, I would be able to bring that left leg down. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep my hips flat and encouraging the opening to come from that left thigh. Again, you might have to keep your hand on the belt. Sole of the left foot is gently pushing into the right leg. The arms might go overhead. Where do your shoulders need to be? Ultimately, if you want to bring the palms together, then you can drop those shoulders down and open the chest. Breathe in. Imagining you're standing. Don't lose the attention in that right leg like I did just then. And when we're ready, we release out. Think about what's going to work for you. Try not to get tangled up in that belt. I'm not quite sure where this one's going. There we go. So it's likely that you want some sort of curl in or a little hug because of those thighs. We've been working into maybe a little rock across the hips. And you can bring yourself up in whatever way is right for you. And we are going to come to standing. Take a moment to come in to your Tadasana. We're going to look at a variation on the tree posture before we come into a fuller posture. So be aware of the feet down into the mat, hip width or closer. Weight nicely balanced through front, back of feet, inner and outer edges. Aware of the contact with the mat, weight down through the feet. Nice tall upright legs. Thinking about where you need to be through your hips. Little turn in the tummy. Tall through the spine. Trying to lift that rib cage away from those hips without rising those shoulders. Those shoulders should be relaxed. Releasing your arms by your side, nice and tall, height through the spine, chin level. Let's take three nice deep breaths. Breathing in, reaching to the ceiling. Releasing as you breathe out. I'm going to do 3 of these, so do work with your own breath. Stretching up as you breathe in. And releasing as you breathe. 3rd one. If you struggle with your balance, then simply taking your weight into one leg is going to be enough for you. When we walk, we're transferring the weight between the legs anyway, so do have the confidence that your leg will support you. If we're practicing on just bringing the weight into one leg, we can bring our hands to our heart center in prayer. We can take the weight into one leg and we can roll ourselves up onto the big toe of the opposite leg. That might be as far as you're going today. It might mean just holding there, both feet still in touch with the mat. Okay, so if that's your position, that's the way you're going to practice from the other side. If you're feeling great here, then we can bring that big toe back to be near the ankle of the balancing leg and start to turn the sole of the foot. And when we turn the sole of the foot to the leg, what's going to happen is that hip is going to open, the knee is going to be out. So you might be there. You may be able to slide the foot up onto the calf. Try to avoid standing on the side of the knee. The knee's only designed to go forwards and backwards. And then we're looking to find our balance. Don't be worried or concerned about the weight rolling through that foot. Naturally, you've brought everything off to one side, your weight, so you're taking yourself off centre. And the body's working to correct. So this is going to help strengthen the ankle, and it's our modified version of tree posture. So we'll come down, we'll go through those steps on the other side. Do take a moment to bring your weight to centre. So, palms together in prayer. Transferring the weight into the balancing leg, which should be the other leg this time. Rolling the weight up onto the big toe, or all the toes. That might be where your balance is. If it is, that's fine, because you're still working on the support and strengthening through that standing leg. You might be able to draw that big toe back towards the ankle and turn the sole of the foot against that balancing leg. You may feel really confident there and happy to slide that foot up onto the calf. So we're encouraging that left knee to open. And you might find your moment of stillness there. So please be honest with yourself and work to the point you're at today, trying to find a moment of stillness. Release down, take the feet to be under the hips, and just take a moment to feel the weight through the body. If we're going to move on from there into more of our traditional tree posture with the foot all the way up in the groin, what we can do is we can use the wall to help support us, and we can use the belt to bring that ankle higher. So I'm going to work with the wall first of all. So I come back against the wall, so my bottom is in touch with the wall. Because if you think about the back of the body, generally the bottom will stick out a little more than everything else. Try not to bring your heels right back against the wall unless you've got very deep skirtings, as that's going to already make you tipped forward a little. So your heels, I would say mine are about, 4 centimetres in front of the wall. This means as I was laying on the mat and I used the mat to support the back of the body, I'm now using the wall to support the back of the body. I'm very fortunate in that I can come down and get hold of the foot to draw the foot up. If you struggle there, then bring your belt into play again and have the belt round the ankle, and we can bring the foot up. What this is going to do as well when you're on the wall is encourage that knee to open. If we're looking for finer points, we're trying to then keep those hips level. So let's see what this looks like in practice. Bottom's touching on the wall. Supporting leg, prepare the supporting leg, start to get the weight into it. Bring your foot up as high to you as you can, so you're resisting the urge to lean forward too far. And bring that heel up into the groin as high as you can. So the sole of the foot's going onto the fleshy part of the thigh. This is a point where I have to see if that foot will stay there. It did when I practiced earlier. You might be holding that foot and just stretching the one arm up. Okay, so do know that even yoga teachers sometimes have to make modifications. So I'm trying to get this foot to step up into that groin. It really doesn't want to stay at the moment. There we go. And it's going to slide. So I'm working on holding that foot up, encouraging those hips to flatten. Okay, it might be you're at home, you might be in shorts, you might see that now it's going to stay. You can't really see the edge here, but I'm opening out rather than that knee being in front of the hips, and I'm trying to get the hips flat, and I can bring my arms overhead, and I can see on my camera that It's mirror image, that I need to work that way a little bit. There we go. Okay. So we're trying to support ourselves through that one leg and be nice and tall. Think about the strength of the tree. When you're ready, you can release down. So please work with what's sensible for you. Don't feel you have to go the full position of having the leg up. Think about how you're feeling. It's something you can work towards, you can visualise for yourself. So let's try the other side. So I'm still a little way from the wall, bottom's touching, but my heels are a little way out. Again, I can come down for me, but if you need to, use the belt. So this knee I know comes forwards, it doesn't go back as far as the other one. And I'm trying to bring that foot into the groin. And if I'm happy to, again, it's sliding. So there we go. It's slightly forwards. I know I'm rising through my hip, so I'm trying to just correct here. To take both arms overhead, and again, trying to find that centre position. So the weight's going down through the one leg. That leg's balancing. When you use the wall, you do tend to put a bit of the weight into the wall. But what you're doing here is using a prop to assist you to find your position. Whenever you're ready, you can release out. Now this time, you might find that you might want to shake through, you might just want to shake it out, or you might want to have a little curl down into ragdoll. In ragdoll, we keep the legs soft and relaxed. If we can touch the floor, we hold the elbows. And we just have a sense of lengthening the spine down towards the mat. And then we can steadily uncurl. It may be you're happy to move away from your wall and have a try of your tree posture away from the wall. It might be you want to stay working with the wall. You might have just had enough for today. Okay, so work with what's right for you. If you wanted to support from the side, try and have the hand out and start arm's length away from the wall so that we're trying to keep the body upright. And you'll see I've leant in. I'm not as far away as I started. Okay. You may alternatively go against the wall, or in my case a wardrobe. And this can be a way to support the hip so that you can bring your body in. So however you work into your tree, try and find the support that assists you to get the best position. Once you're accomplished with some props, with some support, you can try it on your mat away from your supports. Any sort of balance you're doing standing, putting all the weight through one leg, is going to benefit you. What we're looking to do is to move it on so that we can stand fully supported and find absolute stillness in our body. So we really bring our focus and our attention in, and that gives us the extra element in our balance. I will try and demonstrate. My clothing will allow me to. So preparing the leg, you might want to think about putting roots down through that balancing leg, imagining you're that tree. It's a nice, tall, strong trunk. Then beginning to bring the other leg up, sole of the foot coming in if you're happy to. And taking the arms to the ceiling. They can stay here in prayer, or they might go up, they might even be apart. Looking to be at one with your balance, with your body, with your breath. Full focus on your tree balance. Knowing that moment where you're ready to come out of the posture whilst you are still in control. When you've balanced on one side, do take a moment to bring yourself to centre before you move to balance on the other side. If you go rushing into the other side, you've not really given your body and your brain the opportunity to come back to centre. So, nice and tall as Tadasana. Let's see if we can balance to the other side. Prepare the balancing leg, the strength of a tree. Roots down through your foot into the ground. Tall, strong trunk. I've taken my gaze off in front of me to give myself the best opportunity of balance. Bringing the sole of the foot up onto the leg. Remember, you can stop wherever's right for you. Trying to get those hips balanced. Bringing those arms up. Breathing nice and tall. Looking for that moment of steadiness. Please work in the way that's right for you. I could feel myself beginning to lose that balance, so I came out when it was right for me. Not quite balanced with the amount of time I spent on the other side. And when you're down, where do you want to be? Do you want to just stand for a moment in your Tadasana, your mountain posture? Do you feel you like a little hang forwards in ragdoll? And just take a moment of silence for yourself. If you want to come down to the mat, come down to the mat. If you want to stand in Tadasana, just bringing yourself to centre, bring yourself to centre. Learn to identify with your body, with what it needs. And learn to appreciate having a moment of silence, just being with the breath. Might be that you find it's useful to give yourself a count of 8 or 12 breaths. I know that you can continue to work to practice more tree postures, to go on for a relaxation, to go off and to continue the rest of your day. I'm going to finish with a nice big breath, breathing in, stretching up, releasing as you breathe out. Thank you very much. Namaste.